What's up you guys, I'm Dan, this is Frugal Not Cheap. This week we continue our mid-tier travel credit card matchup. Last week we looked at the Capital One Venture Rewards, the week before that the Chase Sapphire Preferred. Check out those videos if you haven't seen them. But today we're going to review the Citi Strata Premier. So all these three cards are $95 annual fee cards, and we're looking to see which one is the best. But of course you can watch each video on its own to learn more about that particular card and see if it's going to make sense for you. Also, if you look in the description for this video, there's a link called Resources. If you open that link, you can find a spreadsheet for each of these different credit cards. You can edit and put in your own particular spending, change your sort of multiplier or discount factor for the different credits, and see whether or not this card makes sense for you. You can't just write over the sheet that's in there. You've got to like save a copy for yourself, but useful resources there in the description. All right, so with all that, let's jump in and do a review of the Citi Strata Premier. Hey guys, so I've done a review of the Citi Strata Elite before, and actually there was a time when I had the Citi Strata Premier, although I think the card was a bit different at the time, but anyway, I did have that some time ago. Anyway, the format is going to be the same as with the other cards in this mid-tier matchup. We're going to look at how we earn points, and given my spending from when I used to live in Texas, we'll see how much that would have earned me in points. Then we'll look at any credits. And then we'll subtract the annual fee, again, $95, and see what kind of the net value this card represents, and see how that stacks up against the Capital One Venture Rewards and the Chase Sapphire Preferred. I'll also try to do a little bit better of a job in this video talking about other perks that come with the card, talking about transfer partners, and then also talking about travel protection and that kind of thing. Now, of course, all these cards do, by the way, come with no foreign transaction fees. They wouldn't make very good travel cards if they didn't. So how can we go about earning rewards points with this Citi Strata Premier? Well, there are quite a few categories that are available to earn a higher multiplier, basically a higher earn rate than the baseline. And I'm using essentially the same table that I used for the Chase and the Capital One reviews, just so that you can kind of compare them, really easily. So the first category in that table is going to be groceries, and you do get to earn 3% back at supermarkets with this card, and that's going to yield 105 points. Citi, by the way, calls them thank you points, and we'll talk a little bit more about how you can redeem them later. Next up, we've got dining or restaurants. You can also earn 3% back on that. So that's going to be another $60 in rewards based off my $2,000 a year in spend. The next row in the table is streaming, but actually there is no streaming category for this card. This just falls into the other, and on non sort of increased multiplier spend, you're going to earn just 1% with this card. So this is a bit of a drawback compared to the Capital One Venture Rewards where you earn 2% on everything else. And on the Chase Sapphire Preferred, you also earn just 1%, but when you do the redemptions on the travel portal, you can often get more than that in terms of using the points boost to get something like 1.5 to 1.75x, although again, some of those prices on the portal reading could be a little inflated in some cases. Anyway, so with the Citi Strata Premier, we're earning just $1 here on that $100 in streaming, because again, it's just falls into the other category. The next one has the highest multiplier, and this is for hotels, rental cars, and attractions booked on the Citi Travel Portal. We get a 10% earn rate, and I expect I'd spend about $1,000 a year back then, which would yield $100 in points. So that's pretty solid right there, more than covers the annual fee just on that alone. Then on non-portal travel, things like air tickets as well, I used to spend about $2,000, and we earn 3% on this category. So that's going to be another $60 in points. Then we've got gas and EV charging stations, and this one certainly is one that fits many households, so I think it's a pretty strong category for this card. We earn 3% on that, but it just happened in my case that I charged my car in the garage, and so there was really no cost to me. I wasn't really using much for charging stations, definitely no gasoline. So that's going to be $0 for me. But again, your mileage may vary. Download a copy of the spreadsheet, put in your own numbers, and see if it makes sense for you. And finally, we have other spend that was just under $3,000. Again, we only earn 1% on this, so that's going to be another $30 in points, bringing our total thank you points earned to $356. Again, that's pretty good in a vacuum, not comparing it to other cards. We're definitely paying we're definitely getting positive value of this card after the annual fee. So now let's look at the credits. And here's another place where this card is kind of great, is that it's really simple. There's really just one credit to consider, and that's an annual hotel benefit, which is $100 for any $500 or more booking made through the Citi portal. So again, I don't always want to have a particular hotel stay that's going to be $500 or more. And then you never know whether or not the portal pricing is going to be super competitive against other sources. So I'm going to discount this a little bit. I'm going to discount it to 75 cents on the dollar, and that'll be $75, but still quite good. And your mileage may vary. If we took it at face value, then we'd have $100 plus the $356 in points, less the $95 annual fee, and we'd have positive value of $361. But again, because I discount the hotel credit a little bit, we end up with net positive value of $336. Still very good. And I do, by the way, think it's interesting that the big change, one of the big changes to the Chase Sapphire Preferred was a move from a $50 to $100 hotel credit, matching the hotel credit that we have here with the Citi Strata Premier. Okay, now I said I was going to talk about how we can redeem these points. With any card, there's going to be different redemption options, and some of those are going to present a better or a worse value. When it comes to thank you points with Citi, generally the statement credits are not as good. You get 75 cents on the dollar when you're redeeming that way. But you can get 1-to-1, 1 cent per point, if you book travel on the portal using those points. And that's probably what I would do if I had this card. The other thing that you can do, and this is great for other people that are really into this, is you can transfer those points over to airline partners. You've got American Airlines, JetBlue, Virgin Atlantic, Cathay Pacific, Eva Air, and then you've got also accommodation. You've got Choice Hotels and others. So a lot of good transfer partners there, although probably not as good a transfer partner ecosystem as you have with Chase, and then also the one with Capital One is pretty good as well. Anyway, because you can redeem them sort of, 1 cent per point for travel, that's why I'm not devaluing these thank you points doing the calculations. On top of that, like a decent travel card, you do get some travel related benefits. You get trip cancellation and trip interruption protection. There's also some help for trip delays, lost or damaged luggage, and master rental coverage on car rental. I'm not going to assign a dollar value to all of these, but it is good to know that there are some additional protections for travel that you book with the card. So overall, what do I think? I think this card was in a really, really good position before the Chase Sapphire Preferred revamp, but that doubling of the hotel credit for the Chase Sapphire Preferred means that it represents a higher net positive value, at least from my spending, of $444, again against the $336 for the Citi card. But the Citi card still does beat out the Venture Rewards, which is definitely getting our sort of bronze medal or last place here in the mid-tier travel credit card matchup, as we only earned $276 in value with that one. So there you have it. If you were looking for a mid-tier card, I do think it's pretty solid. It's straightforward. There's only the one credit to worry about. The categories that are covered by higher percentage, multipliers are all really usable categories, so quite good there. It just happens that for this particular case, the Chase Sapphire Preferred is looking significantly better, but your mileage may vary. Do the math for yourself and see how it works out. And if there's anything I missed, some way that other viewers could get value out of one card or another that I didn't cover, do please let us know in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed today's video and found it helpful. If you did, please hit the like button and consider subscribing. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.